Division. Now division requires you to be absolutely superb at your multiplication and to ensure that you know your times tables inside out. Now the easiest way to carry out division is to use the bus stop method, which is what I'm going to show you on this video. Now you have to do 114 divided by 6, so you need to make sure you know your 6 times table. Now to do this, you need to put the number that you're dividing by at the front of the shelter and underneath the number that you're dividing, so 114. So we need to ask ourselves, how many 6's go into 1? Well, that's none. So 1 divided by 6 is not a whole number, it's a decimal. So we're going to carry through that 1 we haven't used. So now instead of having 1 here, we're actually going to have 1 plus our 10 plus our unit that we just carried through, 1, to make 11. So how many 6's go into 11? Well, it goes 6, 12, and 6 times 7, so it's 1. And how many is left over between 11 and 6? Well, that's 5. So now we're going to carry through that 5, and we're going to ask ourselves, how many 6's go into 54? And if we do that, we should find that it is 9. So 114 divided by 6 is 19. Now we just do another example, very similar. We're going to do 238 divided by 7. So the first thing to do is to set up your bus shelter. So number outside that we're going to divide by, 238, is what we're dividing. So how many 7's go into 2? That's none. So we're going to carry through that 2 we haven't used to now make 23. So how many 7's go into 23? Well, 7, 14, 21. That's 3. And how many's left over between 21 and 23? 2. So we're going to carry through that 2. Now how many 7's go into 28? So it's 7, 14, 21, 28, which is 4. So 238 divided by 7 is 34. Now, those two questions are when the numbers divide exactly. We could, however, have questions which don't always divide exactly, but we still use the same method. So we've got 534 divided by 8. So the first step is to set up your bus shelter. So how many 8's go into 5? That's none. And we've got to carry through our 5. So how many 8's go into 53? So if you're really good at 8 times table, this is going to be really easy. If not, you've got to add up in 8's until you get to 53. So 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 45, and then it is 45, then it is going to be 40, 48, then 56. Well, it's 48 and 56. And if you did that on your hand and wrote it down, you'll find that that is in actual fact 6. And that was 48. So how many's left over between 53 and 48? Well, that is 53 and 48. That is going to be 5. So how many 8's going to 54? Well, we know that's 6. But how many's left over? What's our remainder? Well, that's 6. But we don't have remainder when we get to senior school at GCSE. We need to make sure we convert this into a fraction. So we've got 66 and remainder 6. Well, what are we dividing by? We're dividing by 8. So it's 6 over 8 because we're dividing 6 into 8 parts. And you should know that 6 over 8 can actually become 3/4 if simplified. Now that is division using the bus shelter method, and it's the easiest method for carrying out division, but it does depend on you being really, really good at your multiplication times tables.